Kolhapur Taraja, Kolhapur Dasha, I am Maharana Kolamurcha, the king of Kolhapur, Shahu Maharaj.
This is a story from about 110 years ago. On Bhav Singh Ji Road in Kolhapur, a young man named Gangaram Campbell opened a tea shop. Gangaram Campbell named his shop Satya Sudharak. His shop was very clean and the tea tasted excellent, but people from the upper castes boycotted him. They were very upset that a Dalit was serving tea. One day, suddenly, this shop became the talk of the entire Kolhapur. Because the person who came to drink tea at the shop was none other than the Maharaja of Kolhapur, Chhatrapati Shahu Ji. In the early years of the last century, this was no ordinary event. Because Shahu Ji, who was born on June 26, 1874, was no ordinary king. He was a descendant of the great Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj.
Rajarshi Shahu Maharaj, the true democratic ruler and social reformer of the princely state of Kolhapur, is remembered today for his revolutionary work in promoting education and equality for all people.
Hello, I am Harpreet Kaur. Today, we are talking about that India where 100 or 125 years ago, countless people carried the title of social reformer with their names. But if you look deeper, you will find out the truth. Their work was limited to speeches only, while there was one organization whose members did not just give speeches but believed in taking concrete action on the ground. Maharaja Chhatrapati Shahu Ji, a descendant of the great Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, was associated with that organization. Shahu Ji Maharaj's approach was very different. Many times he would directly attack casteism. Sometimes he would try to explain things gently, and at other times he would make his point through humor. In those days, most people seriously believed that their religion would be defiled if touched by a Dalit. Dalits were prevented from entering temples in many public places. But it was Maharaja Chhatrapati Shahu Ji who not only raised his voice against this in his kingdom, but also within his own royal palace. Once, near a pond inside the royal palace, a Maratha soldier, Saint Ram, and some upper caste people brutally beat up Gangaram Campbell. They claimed that the Dalit youth Gangaram had defiled the pond by touching its water. At that time, Shahu Ji Maharaj was not in Kolhapur. When he returned, Gangaram tearfully told him everything that had happened. Shahu Ji became very angry at this and whipped Santaram with a horsewhip and dismissed him from his job. After that, he embraced Gangaram and said, "I am saddened that such an incident took place inside my royal palace," and striking a blow against this discrimination. That very day, giving money to Ganga. Campbell's tea shop was opened, and Shahu Ji himself decided to challenge this notion by drinking tea there. Shahu Ji understood very well that society does not change through orders, but through messages and concrete actions. Not only did Shahu Ji Maharaj drink the tea himself, he also made his high caste employees drink the same tea. After all, who would dare refuse the king? You must be wondering, how did such a change suddenly come about in Maharaja Chhatrapati Shahu Ji, a descendant of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, 100 or 125 years ago? How did he come to understand the suffering of society? How? He set out to break a long-standing notion in India. It is said that the sources of water are rain, springs, rivers, and wells, and the source of life is scripture. In the same way, to fight against evil practices, a source of ideology is essential. When casteism and untouchability were at their peak in Kolhapur, it was during this time in the year 1902. When Chhatrapati Shahu Ji Maharaj was travelling to England, he met Maharaja Pratap Singh of Jodhpur. They discussed freedom, they discussed society. On the topic of evil practices, the ruler of Jodhpur told Chhatrapati Shahu Ji Maharaj about the then ongoing Arya Samaj movement. This was his initial introduction to Arya Samaj. After returning to India, Chhatrapati Shahu Ji Maharaj met Maharaja Sayajirao Gaikwad of Vadodara. He too told him about Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati and introduced him to Master Atmaram Amritsar Ji, a preacher of Arya Samaj. The result of this introduction was that Shahuji Maharaj realized that if anyone could deal with the dangers ahead, it was the Arya Samaj. From that point on, Shahuji Maharaj began reform work in his state. He made a resolution in his heart that Vedic Dharma should become a world religion. With this desire, he made the presence of Arya Samaj resound in Kolhapur city. He proclaimed it loudly. He established the Shivaji Vedic School. He opened a college named Sahu Dayanand. He built an Arya Mandir named after Swami Shraddhanand. He implemented the anti-cow slaughter law. The most influential act of that era was that he had 26,000 copies of the Satyarth Prakash printed in Kolhapur. For all the senior officials and others in his state, these were distributed. He made the study and examination of Satyarth Prakash mandatory. Just like in other parts of the country, caste-based discrimination was at its peak in Kolhapur, Maharashtra as well. Shahuji Maharaj adopted very creative ways to tackle this social evil. Instead of just giving speeches, he wanted to set an example through his actions. Just like the story about the tea shop that we just told you. He did not stop there. In fact, in 1902, he implemented reservations in his state, which was a revolutionary step. He decided to grant 50% reservation in government jobs to people from the backward caste. This was a decision that later paved the way for the constitutional provision of reservations. In his domain, he legally banned any form of untouchability in public places. He also arranged for the sacred thread ceremony and Vedic education to be accessible to all sections of society. He encouraged people from all so-called higher and lower castes to participate together in religious festivals. He provided scholarships to help students from backward castes pursue higher education, and it was through such a scholarship that Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar got the opportunity to go abroad and earn his PhD. It is important to note that Dr. Ambedkar received this scholarship with the help of Master Atmaram Amritsarji. It was the Maharaja of Baroda who introduced Master Atmaram Amritsarji to Sahuji Maharaj. The date was March 8, 1920. In Bhavnagar, then part of Saurashtra, the All India Arya Sabha Council of the Arya Samaj was held. Sahuji, who attended as the chief guest of this assembly, addressed the gathering saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, let us take a look at the history of India. There is a world of difference between India 1,000 years ago and India today. Today, valor, Jain religious values, generosity, and noble qualities have disappeared. It is not surprising to see India filled with thousands of bad customs and rigid traditions. Child marriage, polygamy, restrictions on women's education, and the disorder of the caste system, such numerous harmful traditions have rendered society lifeless today." At the end of his speech, he said that only Vedic religion can awaken the nation. The religion shown by Swami Dayanand Ji will become universal. However, even before this, Shahuji Maharaj had said in his speech on December 14, 1918, that every individual should have the freedom to study and think. Arya Samaj allowed this, but distorted Hinduism does not permit it. That is why the religion of the Pandit priests is creating division among people, while the Vedic religion shown by Maharishi Ji is uniting them. Today, when people say that Shahuji Maharaj accepted the idea of Hindu social justice at that time, they overlook the fact that Shahuji Maharaj rejected caste dominance, male dominance, and religious dominance, which were considered the rights of caste, gender, power, or a particular caste. In his views, he presented Vedic ideas alongside liberal modern traditions, stating that this was not a revival of old Hindu ideas, but rather an imagination of a new modern society related to the concepts of citizenship. It was May 6, 1922 when Shahuji Maharaj passed away. In the history of Maharashtra, Shahuji is like a priceless gem. He secured a place for himself. Shahuji Maharaj dedicated his entire life and efforts to the democratization of all sectors of society. Even today, his role remains highly significant in social, religious, and political discourse. He was a staunch opponent of caste-based discrimination because he was an advocate for social change. Even today, there is much we need to learn from Shahuji Maharaj, especially his commitment to social justice, the eradication of caste, and the liberation of women. And values like religious harmony. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar himself once said that Shahuji Maharaj's birth anniversary should be celebrated as a grand festival. A heartfelt tribute to the great personality of Aryanresh Shri Shahuji Maharaj, the unwavering disciple of Maharshi Dayanand Ji and a messenger of Dalit upliftment.
Rajarshi Shahu Maharaj, Rajarshi Shahu Maharaj, Rajarshi Shahu Maharaj.